Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the HotS ANZ spring season, off-season, competitive season. That's so many seasons, where we have a region that just doesn't stop giving. Guess what? We have another best of three to give you guys tonight, and this one was going to be saved for tomorrow, but you know what? Let's just open the presents right now. Early Christmas. It's going to be multiple units taking on nobody, a team that is the past few weeks been unstoppable. We see them 2-0 everybody in game week 1. Last week, Eagle Slayers tried to take up the mantle and failed, falling short. Now it's up to nobody. Can they do the undoable? Can they make gods bleed? We'll see it tonight in this best of 3. My name is Nigero. Casting alongside is Blank, and we're hopping straight into it, aren't we?
Yeah, so this one's going to be on Infernal Shrine, so you can see behind me here. And we aren't sure how this one's going to play. We haven't seen these two on stream playing against each other, but this will be a good game. It's the grand final, and I'm excited that it's coming early. It means that I don't have to cast and do production or anything like that tomorrow. And we get to see another massive game. That last series went by really quickly, so I'm sure you guys don't mind watching another best of 3. And it's the big dogs Genji getting banned out in the first by multiple units.
And in response, banning out the Decade Kane, we hit a strong support, especially in the hands of what is multiple units, just a team of multiple celebrities, multiple strategists, multiple strong somebodies as well. Maev banned away to deny that from Konya, so I don't know if they were paying attention, but Konya just absolutely popping off. And also Jimmy getting the boot kicked out of the match. Our first pick for multiple units, what are they going to secure? It's Infernal Shrines, and they're looking for Samuro. Okay, this is going to be a good match.
Yeah, well, Infernal Shrines, Samurais, we saw Samurai play in the last game against the people you hate. And it was played by Caladrius in that game, but I know that was on Battlefield of Eternity, wasn't it?
Brax's holdout.
It was Brax's holdout. My apologies. Joanna and Cassia picked up. They're going for a blind comp on the side of nobody, but both multiple units and nobody feature some of the better Premier team players, some of the best players in ANZ. Let's be real. These are grandmaster players that all been on Premier Division teams. A lot of the guys on multiple units were on Twisted Vision. They've been on Crimson. Guys on Nobody that's pled to Pro. As well as Twisted Vision, I believe Konya was on Downfall as well. So some really big teams that have played and some really big names on this team list. So Diablo and Hanzo being picked up by multiple units. Decent shrine clear with the Hanzo, especially once he gets those piercing bolts. But yeah, solid front line from both teams to start off the game.
Well, it depends, because Coffee would be probably a Hanzo Coffee, and I've seen him on Infernal Shrines. He tends to favor an early Stormbow build. So he'll go Stormbow, talents level 1 and 4, but then he'll go for the auto attack, reducing cooldown on those scatter arrows, just for that consistent damage, furthermore, while Stormbow's on cooldown. So that could be a thing we'll see. We'll have to just pay attention to who that lands in. But now picking in, they secure the Leoric, and it's going to be Zeratul going in for the side of nobody, looking for that deep engage. I wonder if we're going to see a big Zeratul pop off tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Seeing the big boys play the Zeratools always gets me excited. I was going to say something else, but I can't say that live on stream. But I love watching clean Zeratul plays. I'm really excited to see how these boys perform. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to a really good game between the Orphea has picked up. That'll be old Tivian. Definitely old Tivian pulling out the Orphea. He's pretty strong with her. We saw it last week. We're going to see it again tonight. What are nobody going to come back with?
Well, I like how they've adapted with, once I noticed the Cassie and Johanna being picked up, and that is a lot of blinds coming out. They immediately pick heroes that aren't really handicapped by blinds. Hanzo, if he's going to be Coffee on Hanzo, which so far it seems to be, against Stormbow, Scatter Arrows, they're not affected by blind. Orphea is a mage. What the heck does blind do, except for maybe her auto attack passive, but it's still a mage. What's that going to do? I like the Alexstrasza in reply, though, because that is the shrine control support choice for Infernal Shrines. especially when she goes Dragon Queen. But both look like strong heroes. And if Leoric gets a right engage onto that Orphea, no matter if it's ulti or even some of the best, European or Korean players, that Orphea will drop like a fly, especially with Zeratul hopping in as well.
I'm excited to see Caladrius on the famous Alexstrasza. Really, really good player on that Alexstrasza. And being a support main, you'd hope so. But Alexstrasza is one of those heroes that can really pop off. I'm not too sure with Orphea which talent in terms of heroic she's going to be going, but we'll find out very soon. Got ya. And yeah, well, let's just jump on straight into it, my friend.
Well, let's kick it off. On the blue side, we have multiple units, the gods, the beasts of spring season. Coffee on that Hanzo, ulti on Orphea, Zillions on that Samurai, Jesmez will be playing Rhaegar, and finally Magic Gnome on the Diablo. Minnow on the red team Blanky, it's nobody.
Yes, it is nobody. Nobody with firstly on the Leoric, Moops on Joanna, Konya on the Zeratul, Caladrius on Alexstrasza, and SBX on that Zeratul.
Already seeing level 1s, everyone's rotating toward that middle lane, except for Caladrius sending in the, I guess, illusions to be an illusion. But they're going to see right through it. Who will walk right into a fountain level 1? I mean, like, come on. We're not dealing with some bronzy players. I mean, I've fallen for that trap though, but that's just me. But firstly, decide to stick around and engage with that Zillions as the rest of the co is still dealing with that middle lane. But ulti already taken down half health with some little shenanigans that is SDBX. Can he pop off on the Cassia like he did with Carl Cesar? We just got to watch and see.
Yep, just the old tit for tat. I'm not too sure. These kind of games, especially the higher tier games, they can go either one way or another. They can either be really, really high kill count games, or they can be really, really low kill count games. You usually find that the higher tier games, such as like your HCC quality games, they have a lot lower deaths in them. But being a fun off-season comp and not really anything to win out of it, it could go either way. These guys would just want to have fun, but at the same time, they want to win. They don't want to lose these games. Massive combos coming out from Orphea here on the bottom lane, though.
Absolutely, and a great zoning out potential coming out of multiple units. They decide to make their way in towards this Kaiser camp, and they will secure it. That is a big steal to deny that in the middle lane, because it's also secured their own one, and it's given themselves the good level advantage as 6 Kaisers working on that middle fort tower. It's been a long night. Can't blame me there. As firstly, it's dealing with Zillions in the top lane, and this allows the rest of multiple units to rotate into the bottom lane and secure themselves another Merc camp down there. Something to note I'm seeing is that multiple units, they're potentially aware of the team fight that is coming out of the side of nobody, and instead are playing that kind of rotation macro play, dealing with all 3 bottom siege camps to at least apply pressure, and they're beating it up, and that's what's happening. You got Stonebow build by Coffee, allows him for that sustained, consistent wave clear, and it's going to be big, especially with the top shrine active. But with top shrine being active, there are no bottom Merc camps to at least apply pressure across the board. So interesting play there, not for at least another minute. But with that being said, another 6 seconds left up in the top lane. It's going to be up. There, Leoric had to back away, so just get a bit of sustain. Both teams working on the Shaman camp, and this makes sense. Get the Shaman camp, apply that another pressure up in the top lane. What you're also noticing is the team of Nobody already sticking around in the middle and bottom lane. This is okay for the first shrine. Why is that? Well, because it's a shrine phase. It's not like the Immortal phase where it's a smaller map, and then you can do quite a lot of damage quickly. Shrine phase, you can kind of afford to give away 10, 12, maybe even 15 of those little creeps, because they take a while to spawn. It allows your team to rotate, and it does soak up a bit of experience. Now here they are, preparing. 20 already in the favor of multiple units as the team of Nobody is slowly rotating in. Dragon Queen is available, but the fight is on. Firstly, taking a half out. He's already trying to force up towards that Diablo. Imagine him so low, but Coffee had to back away, flips over to safety, and a great play by the side of Nobody get themselves the positional advantage, force themselves in towards the shrine. Now they're going to take as much creeps as they can, but bear in mind, Dragon Queen is down. There is move. He gets forced off the Iron Shield. Zillions is in the backline trying to do as much as he can, but instead he gets turned on. Konya looking for the burst. Konya looking for the kill, but will not succeed. That's Magic Gnome dealing with the rest of SBBX and moves. Firstly, has to be careful. Coffee missing the Stormblade, looking for that burst, but it's not going to succeed. But his team will be the winners in this Shrine phase, securing the top Infernal Monster as they get themselves the Arcane Punisher. And if we've seen anything that multiple units have done in the previous weeks, is they know how to take structures with the first Punisher. And this is what they're setting their sights up. Ready to take themselves a little side wall, forces themselves in. This is smart play. They're going to zone out the team of Nobody as they're working on those turrets. First one down, Punisher's working on Orphe, trying to do as much damage. Orphe, ulti can do something, but here we go. They're still forcing the zone away, and it works wonders, but the Punisher's following. So if anything, Nobody did a great defense here because they are able to force that Punisher away from the fort, but it's going to cause some keep damage though, which is a little bit unfortunate. But they don't lose much structures. Still maintaining that XP lead because of Konya down in this bottom lane, as he still deals with the Zillion. So all in all, great defense, but still some damage did come inside as they look to gain as little advantages as they can. I know people, why is Nigeria talking so much? But it's okay. I love talking. I like entertaining. It's going to be great. Because you know what? We have a great matchup, and this could be potentially going to 3 games. I really hope so. Because you know what? Well-played teams are strong. They're solid. We're seeing now they're doing the siege camps, getting themselves a middle Kaiser camp this time. Multiple units were a bit slow on securing this there, so they weren't able to at least push up and be aggressive to secure the enemy one like last time. This does allow Nobody to, I guess, maintain having a foothold in the XP lead. But firstly, it has to be very, very careful because Zillions did jump onto him, forcing him to recall. It's going to be the main takedown, unless he has enough to tap. Not sure how much left on his cooldown for that one, but he can be there. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, STBX gets jumped on by Diablo, but guess who's there to jump in backline for them? It's Konya. Drilled down so damn low, forcing him to play a bit defensive on that Orphea. So great retaliation as they're setting themselves up for that level 10. Halfway through that level, rotating down the bottom lane. They're trying to get as much experience because that's what they want. They want to hit level 10. They want to get the green light to go and engage deep. So you're going to be careful. You're positioned a bit too dangerously there, but instead it's going to turn around. Caladrius keeping up alive. Going for the Life Blossom build, which works if you got no one jumping on you, if you maintain 75% health, because you can just sustain consistently again and again and again, which works because there's no real dive except for that Samurai. But all in all, 10's picked up. Entomb, there's a Void Prison, Blessed Shield. Meanwhile, on the other side, we're going to see Eternal Feast by the side of Altia on the Altia on the Orphea. Probably to work wonders with that Dragon's Arrow, but do we have a blank back?
Yes, we do. I'm back, and just in time for another awesome team fight. And I was going to say, Eternal Feast, here it comes, and it's getting some massive work done as Zeratul falls to the awesome damage of Hanzo with that Stormbow build.
Yeah, Coffee is quite infamous with doing Stormbow build. It does a lot of damage. It can surprise a lot of players and deal with minions at the same time. But they're not done just yet. Moves gets flipped over by Magic Gnome. Still securing another kill as Coffee has completed his level 1 talent on that target practice for all damage. But a great Entomb locks up 2 members. Dragon Strike is used for just a moment. Stun, and Ulti is going big. Can he get some kills? There's also going to be Ancestral Healing as all members are taken a bit low, but no one falling just yet as Shrine is up. But that's a big cooldown in Ancestral Healing.
Yeah, apologies guys, Mrs. Blank missed her bus and asked if I could go pick her up. I told her, no, sorry, I've got stuff to do. So here I am, still with you guys after a bit of yelling, and Zalians just picks up a top camp. Void Prison has gone down as this objective pops up, and nothing's going to be done with it except zone them out just a little bit while they pick up a few of those Guardians, little Shrine minions, little dudes. And I think the Zalians on that... Samurai is just going to keep pushing in that top lane, get some damage on that keep.
forcing firstly to rotate back up the top lane, but is it a little bit too late? They've already damaged the top fort towers. Meanwhile, in towards where the shrine is actually Dragon Queen has been popped. That's going to be the Ray Guard down, but they need to capitalize on this. They must secure this Punisher, and if they do, they have to do something about it, because guess what? Zillions is actually dealing with firstly. He's forcing him to play a bit more backwards. Does some damage onto that keep, because guess what? Shaman Cap is still applying some pressure there too, but has to back away. It's all up to nobody now, Blank, and they got to do something big with this Punisher.
Yeah, well, it's already been baited over the wall, so it's doing damage onto that fort. They've backed up. Magic Gnome's having to half. He has full souls, so he's very tanky at the moment, but without a support, because Rhaegar died early in that team fight, they do need to back it up a little bit.
Secure themselves the bottom fort. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Zillions is still applying that pressure. Great play, able to rotate with his mirror images. He's gone for the Illusion Master, though, to have that complete control for his team of illusions, but it's not done yet. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, there we go. We're seeing ulti popping up. Can he get any kill on SDBX? Looking aggressive. Eternal Feast has been popped, but it misses on everybody. Meanwhile, we're seeing the great old Lightning Breath for the slows, but they all decide to disengage. In fact, they're going to turn around. Rhaegar's Ancestral Healing does go off. Ulti's back to full health, as SDBX is living with such little health. Unfortunately, dropped down to Magical Gnome. Void Prison a little bit too late there. And it's going to be a support for the DPS Coffee. Has to be careful because Konya is still going strong. Going for that rendering cleave. Good old cleave damage build that you absolutely love, Blank.
I do. I love it so much. And he's gone with Wormhole as well, so he's able to get in and then get out. He can get in, chuck a W off, chuck a Q off, and then get back out again without any real risk. It's one of the favorite things that I love about Zeratul. He is able to put out a lot of damage really quickly with that cleave build. And once he hits level 16 and gets the empowered by hitting multiple heroes, he can dive into the middle of a team fight, hit everyone with it. It reduces its cooldown, does a lot more damage. It's just a fantastic build.
Well, if they're going to be focusing on that much damage, they need to make it count, because in top lane, firstly is going to fall to Zillions, and it's going to be the tank down the off lane, and Zillions is going to have free reign to deal some damage onto this keep, and that's going to be devastating. If he consistently applies that pressure, this could be, I guess, a win scenario for the side of multiple units.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you can see, Leoric's Ghost is coming in to try to revive at the team fight, trying to make it maybe a 5v4 and force something there. But Zillions is back with his clones and doing damage to this keep again. So it looks like the keep is probably going to fall in a second, and that's going to apply catapult pressure in that top lane. Yet, that's pretty much the keep going Zillions. He's going to die for this keep. That's how much he wants it. And firstly, he's got one of his clones in his entomb, which manages to secure the kill on Zillions. But Zillions sacrificing himself for a keep, that is a good trade. And in the meantime, you'll see that multiple units taking out this bottom fort, so evening up the lanes in that aspect as well.
You can tell, though, in terms of what's been happening, as an engage comes up by Magic Gnome, force the line breath, but everyone dodges a Dragon Strike Coffee and misses. SDBX is so damn low, forcing the ultimate that is Cleansing Flame to keep him up alive. They're trying to fight, can they get any kills though? Moops is so low. Konya looking to get engaged onto ulti. He's low. There comes the Eternal Feast. It's on 1, it's on 2, it's on 3 as SDBX gets dropped. Feeds the little hungry ulti and moves, having a back away. Cladris low, moves gets flipped, moves gets trying to get stunned, but he's still surviving as Coffee gets a kill on towards the Cladris, and Konya, can he avenge his little Elixstras? And he does. Be down, but at what cost? One to go, Konya's all alone, trying to escape. He the juke, gets slow, gets jumped, gets over, gets stunned, and off he goes. That's 3, and the shrine. It's a...
Yeah, mortars, I mean, they're underrated. A lot of people say that the Mortar Punisher is the weakest of the 3. It still puts out a lot of damage. Unlike the other 2, I mean, the Arcane Punisher being essentially the most powerful, doing the most damage, and the Frozen Punisher being able to root your targets, giving you a lot of CC in team fights if you want to push in. The Mortar Punisher actually does a lot of AoE damage, which if you're focusing on dodging that, you're not focusing on the team fight. If you're focusing on the team fight, you're not dodging these balls of mortar fire that are coming out from this Punisher.
And this could be what allows them to at least secure the middle fort and then open up the rest of the map. A play by multiple units, so this is the second time I feel that they've been pushed. We saw last week where Rinse and Delete really took them in one of the games, potentially going to nearly steal one of them. And it was also on Infernal Shrines as well, looking for nobody to at least reciprocate it. You could say, well, structurally, though, that multiple units are an advantage. They only dropped one fort, but they're forced to play very meticulously. They have to be calculated, and that's what we're noticing. Sometimes they just willy-nilly win games, but when they're pushed, have their backs to the wall, you're seeing this kind of performance out them. But can they hold it? It's up to nobody. As the Mortal Shrine, Punisher hops in. Firstly, is taken down to half health. Will be sustained by Caladrius. They're still doing some damage. The Punisher's still alive, looking for the Entomb engage. He doesn't bless his shield. There's firstly, he's sensing an ulti, but is his teammates going to drop before he can get the rank engage? He's forced to back away as the Punisher is working on the backline STBX. There's also Dragon Cave, but a great Entomb on two members solves the Eternal Feast. It's once, it's twice. Konya looking for the multiple kill, but it's going to be Rhaegar falling down as Ancestral Healing was used. And first it is going to be the member down. Ulti! He's so low.
Oh, he's so low.
Securing that kill and then work on towards that magic gnome. Diablo is about to fall. Konya secures that, and that's going to be 3 members for 1. That is a well team fight by nobody, and they were able to keep themselves up, but they have to convert off of this team fight.
Yeah, well, while they're chasing kills, they have 3 catapults pushing down their top lane, and have a look at Xylians using his Illusion Master to the advantage. 3 cutters and Samuro are going to be smashing into that core, and no one on nobody. Nobody isn't halving. Nobody's halving on nobody. What? Hello.
Oh, firstly,
it looks like Xylians is just going to end the game right now.
Firstly, the first response. Firstly, looking onto. Oh my goodness, is Xylians just backdoor for the win? Looking for the cheesy strats. It looks like a multiple unit's going to take game 1 from a cheesy backdoor strategy by Xylians, but goes to show multiple units were really pushed, had their buttons pushed, and forced to come up with a play like that. Didn't work out in their favor though in the end, but damn, a game 1 for multiple units, they're still looking godly. Yeah,
it was a very different game to what we've watched so far, and as you probably noticed that the guys on multiple units, that they're strong. They are undefeated at the moment. They haven't dropped 1 map this entire season. Are they going to drop one in game number 2? What do you think?
Well, we gotta wait and see, really. I mean, like, it's a tough one. Summer was first pick, and that was like first pick by multiple units. They had first pick, and you knew what you were dealing with, and it kind of became a crux in the way. So could it be warranting a ban? We don't know. Maybe they have to be more aware of it, or maybe even pick a map that just denies Summer's play. Something like Tales of Doom would be working wonders. But that's going to be the first game in this best of 3. We'll be right back after a few more minutes as we go into game 2 between these 2 titans, that is multiple units and nobody. We'll be right back.